Morning, sir.
Good morning. Yeah. So what we're discussing yesterday, guys, we're discussing about performance point of view, application is very, very important. Yeah. So as a DevOps engineer, even while setting up infrastructure, you should be very cautious, especially while setting up infrastructure for performance engineering teams, as well as production environments. Okay. Because final performance value outcome of your application also depends on not only code, but also other factors like networking. The final outcome or performance of any application once we deployed depends on several factors. Depends on code, depends on networking, depends on how you configured your hardware, how you selected your hardware configurations, right? So everything matters. You understood? Yeah. So keeping that in mind, it is required. We understood it is required to monitor every live server. Every live server. In Windows, we have certain tools. In Linux, tools. You can see top, VMstat. We have some tools in Linux as well. Yep. So prior to that, is everyone ready with your VMs? Okay, VMs create chain వాళ్ళు ఎవరైనా ఉన్నారా? Except Prasanna. Hello. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So everyone, Amar, Pavitra, one by one. Samar, is your environment ready?
Yeah.
Warren? Okay,
Yeah,
Warren, okay. Pavitra, 3 servers, you're ready. Okay. Prasanna, Sai. So Prasanna, okay. Sai,
Yes, sir.
మీ
It's
సర్వర్స్
ready.
రెడీగా ఉన్నాయా విఎమ్స్
Yeah.
క్రియేట్
It's
చేయగలిగారా ఓకే
Yeah.
వెరీ గుడ్ పృథ్వీ ఓకే సునీల్ సునీల్ వాట్ అబౌట్ యూ
yeah, yes, sir. Great.
క్రియేట్ చేయగలిగారా
Yeah, yes, sir.
సో ఇఫ్ యూ స్ట్రక్ ఎనీవేర్ ప్లీజ్ పింగ్ మీ ఓకే
Yeah, okay, sir.
I can help you. And what else? Aparna joined today? Not joined? Aparna not there? Okay. No. So we can please practice commands, whatever we discuss. Yep. Because Unix basics, basic commands, basic concepts are required to work in Devops. So as you get 1 or 2 days, 2-3 days practices the set only all the Unix basic commands. Okay. Let the server come up. So next command is top. Let's say top is the command to list the top processes. What are the high, what are the top high consumption processes in your server? We can list using top command. Same thing in Windows, open task manager. The first, so in assigning order, assigning or deciding order, you see, the top consuming processes, the processes that are consuming more CPU memory will be listed first. Then it goes in deciding order. Okay. So similar to this, you have top command. So where the processes will be. So this is percentage memory, CPU, percentage memory, right? So there are, this is what the actual command is, the actual process is running. Your top command gives several metrics. So first thing is now it is displaying the current processes which are actually consuming some amount of CPU in memory in descending order. You understood? This is a process which is consuming 0.03% of CPU, this much of memory. So it goes on. And along with this metric, CPU and memory, it also gives you what is the total memory. This is the total physical memory. Physical memory means RAM. Try to remember always physical memory means RAM memory. Okay. So then we do have something known as swap memory. Let me write it here. So how many types of memories? We have many types of memories, guys. Okay. We have virtual memory, physical memory, ROM, read-only memory, right? GC, heap memory, residence memory. We have several memories. So all the memories not required now. Please remember physical memory. Physical memory means nothing but your RAM memory. RAM is read-only, right? So read access memory, and second one is something known as swap memory. All right, random access memory, and we have ROM. అంటే మీ సిస్టమ్ బూట్ అవగానే సిస్టమ్ రీస్టార్ట్ చేయగానే ఇనీషియల్గా అది బూట్ అవ్వాలంటే కొన్ని ఫైల్స్ కావాలి. సో వితౌట్ ఎనీ అట్లీస్ట్ టు బ్రింగ్ అప్ యువర్ సిస్టమ్ సమ్ పోర్టబుల్ ఫైల్స్ ఆర్ రిక్వైర్డ్. So అట్లాంటి స్టార్ట్అప్ ఫైల్స్ టు బ్రింగ్ యువర్ ఓఎస్ అప్ యూజువల్లీ విల్ బి దేర్ ఇన్ ROM. ROM అనేది ఒక చిప్, రీడ్ ఓన్లీ యాక్సెస్ మెమరీ. దిస్ ఈస్ వన్ చిప్ ఆన్ యువర్ మదర్ బోర్డ్. ఇది పర్మనెంట్ గా ఇన్స్ట్రక్షన్స్ సో మైక్రో ప్రాసెసర్ రిలేటెడ్ ఇన్స్ట్రక్షన్స్ ఇక్కడ స్టోర్ అయి ఉంటాయి. యాక్చువల్లీ ROM ఈస్ ద వన్ విచ్ ఈస్ రెస్పాన్సిబుల్ టు బ్రింగ్ యువర్ ఆపరేటింగ్ సిస్టమ్ అప్. So this is not very important for us. What is important is physical memory, RAM, and swap memory. Yeah. So what is the difference between physical memory, swap memory? Any idea? Because while creating your VM virtual machine, we provided these two values, if you remember. So RAM, I told you to provide around 2 GB, right? 2 GB. And what is the swap memory we provided? Gurtunda? ఎంత ఇచ్చామండి స్వాప్ మెమరీ మనం? While you were creating,
200 MB.
how much?
200 MB.
200 MB is for boot partition.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Swap memory always should be double to your RAM.
RAM.
Remember. So this
4
is
GB.
double to your RAM. So we have given around 4 GB. If you remember. Okay. And what is physical memory? What is RAM? Physical memory, you know, RAM. So I explained with some diagrams as well. So whenever your programs are loaded, actually in every computer, all the programming files, the instructions are executed by your CPU and RAM. You know that. I think we have a diagram, right? You remember? Where is that? This is the one, right? So referring to this diagram, we have discussed. Any program usually physically gets stored in hard disk. And during execution, the program stored in hard disk will be first loaded to your RAM memory. And from RAM memory, it will be మీ హార్డ్ డిస్క్ లో ఉన్నటువంటి స్టోర్ అయిన సేవ్ అయినటువంటి ఎనీ ప్రోగ్రామింగ్ ఫైల్ డ్యూరింగ్ ఎగ్జిక్యూషన్ దట్ ఫైల్ విల్ గెట్ లోడెడ్ ఇన్ టు ర్యామ్ మెమరీ, ఓకే, ర్యాండమ్ యాక్సెస్ మెమరీ. Then from RAM memory, each instruction from this file is read by CPU, and CPU executes each instruction by reading every instruction one by one from RAM memory. So a program file RAM memory look load out during execution time, and from this file, each instruction one by one is taken and executed by your CPU. This is how it happens, execution of any program or any file. Understood? So whatever loaded in RAM memory, it is a temporary memory. So once we reboot, everything will vanish. So RAM memory lo content ఎప్పటి వరకు ఉంటుందండి? ఆ execution for the duration of execution only, the content will we can see in RAM. Once we reboot your machine, everything will vanish because it is a random access memory. You understood? Yeah. So another memory is swap memory. Let's say another memory is swap memory. What is the difference between swap memory? Swap memory. Anyone having idea what is a swap memory? Let's say, not narrated here. Yeah. Amar, do you have any idea what is swap memory? Prithvi? Those who are already worked. Aparna, are you there? Okay. Any idea? So in an interview, they might ask this question. Please focus. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So what is how the program instructions got executed, and what is the relation between hard disk drive and RAM and CPU understood now? So any file stored in your hard disk will be loaded into RAM memory during execution, and these instructions read by your CPU, and each instruction will be executed by CPU, and CPU is the actual central processing unit which executes all the programs. So mana computer lo programs and instructions and execute chesedi evarante CPU is like heart of your computer. CPU is the one which actually responsible for execution of every instruction. But before it executes, where the files will get stored in RAM memory. Good. So every system will have some amount of RAM, some amount of CPU, and some amount of hard disk drive. And we have something known as swap memory. And especially for Unix servers, it is recommended to configure swap memory double to the size of your RAM memory. So indirectly, swap memory is nothing but swap memory is contribution from your hard disk itself. Swap memory అనేది ఎక్కడ ఉండదండి. Swap memory is a part of your hard disk drive. It is a contribution from the hard disk drive. So whenever we configure some memory, some space will be allocated for swap memory, and it will be keep aside. But when swap memory will come into picture, try to understand. So let's say we've opened many programs, and multiple programs are getting loaded into RAM memory and getting executed by CPU. So when these programs became more and more, and RAM memory, let's say RAM memory size is, let me say, you have 1 terabyte hard disk, and you have 16 GB RAM memory and some CPU. So initially, when we open some files, started execution, your RAM memory will started consuming. సో మనం ఎక్కువ ప్రాసెసెస్ ఓపెన్ చేసి ఎగ్జిక్యూషన్ జరుగుతున్నప్పుడు మీ ర్యామ్ మెమరీ కొంచెం ఖర్చు అవుతుంది అవునండి. సో లెట్స్ యూ హ్యావ్ ఓపెన్ ఫ్యూ మోర్ ప్రోగ్రామ్స్, ఇంకా కొన్ని అప్లికేషన్స్ ఓపెన్ చేశారు, ఇంకా కొన్ని బ్రౌజర్స్ అవి ఇవి ఓపెన్ చేశారు, యూ స్టార్టెడ్ వర్కింగ్. సో వెన్ ఎవర్ వీ ఓపెన్ మోర్ అండ్ మోర్ అప్లికేషన్స్ తాలూకా ప్రోగ్రామ్స్ ఎగ్జిక్యూషన్ జరగాలి కాబట్టి సో యువర్ ర్యామ్ మెమరీ కీప్ ఆన్ కన్జంప్షన్ అనేది పెరుగుతూ ఉంటుంది. లెట్స్ దిస్ ది ఆల్మోస్ట్ 12 GB కన్జ్యూమ్, లెట్స్ అజ్యూమ్. దెన్ 12 GB కన్జ్యూమ్ అయిందంటే ఇంకా 4 GB ఉంటుంది. సో ఇఫ్ యూ ఓపెన్ సమ్ మోర్ అప్లికేషన్స్ ఇవి కూడా కన్జ్యూమ్ అయిపోతూ ఉంటుంది. లెట్స్ ఆల్మోస్ట్ 15 GB, after almost 15 GB consumed. Now only 1 GB is left out. You understood, guys? Have 1 GB is left out. Let's say out of 1 GB, almost another 500 MB exhausted. Almost another 500 MB got consumed. Then only we'll be having only another 500 MB. Out of 16 GB, let's say 15.5 GB consumed. We have only another 500 MB. So whenever we have very low window of RAM memory, then it's a sign of anything might happen to your system. So free memory ఏదైతే ఉందో, let's say free memory means utilization అవ్వంగా మిగిలింది. Out of 16 GB, let's say 15.5 GB consumed. What is left out? Another 500 MB. ఆ 500 MB ఏదైతే మిగిలిందో దాన్ని ఫ్రీ మెమరీ అంటాం. ఆ ఫ్రీ మెమరీ ఎంత తక్కువ ఉంటే అంత రిస్క్. ఆ ఫ్రీ మెమరీ అవునండి. సో మెమరీ కన్జంప్షన్ పెరిగే కొద్దీ ఆ ఫ్రీ మెమరీ అవైలబిలిటీ తక్కువయ్యే కొద్దీ మీ సిస్టమ్ రిస్క్లో ఉన్నట్లు. ఎట్ ఎనీ పాయింట్ ఇట్ మైట్ క్రాష్. సో 500 కాస్త నెక్స్ట్ లెటస్ ఇట్ బికమ్స్ 200. 200 కాస్త ఇట్ మైట్ బికమ్ 100. ఇట్ మీన్స్ if it reaches 100 or 200 free memory, it means almost your system will going to hang. You understood, everyone? Yep. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So if this is the case, in real time, because RAM memory is costly, physical memory is costly compared to your swap memory, because swap memory is part of your hard disk drive. So hence there is a configuration in Linux. So what they said is, as RAM memory is very costly, when RAM memory is completely exhausted, let's say the RAM memory almost all everything got consumed, it got exhausted, then control goes to the swap memory. Then it will try to use swap memory for loading the files. So swap memory will come into picture only after complete exhaustion, complete utilization of your RAM memory. And RAM memory is a contribution from your hard disk drive. You might ask a question, and why we have to give only double? Okay, let's say if the 16 GB is my RAM memory, means it is recommended, right, to configure swap memory as 32 GB, 2 times of your RAM memory. As hard disk drive, as swap memory is a contribution from hard disk drive, so hard disk drive is a cheap compared to your RAM memory. అన్న మనకి ఇక్కడ హార్డ్ డిస్క్ డ్రైవ్ 1 TB 2 TB ఉంది కదా, మన 32 GB ఏంటి 64 GB or 128 GB ఇలా ఎంతైనా ఇచ్చుకోవచ్చు కదా. we have lot of space in hard disk drive. So can we provide whatever value we want for swap memory? If that is your question, my answer is no. Because మీకు హార్డ్ డిస్క్ డ్రైవ్ స్పేస్ ఉన్నప్పటికీ ఎంతంటే అంత ఇవ్వలేము, ఇవ్వకూడదు. దానికి ఒక లిమిట్ అంటూ ఉంటుంది. ఓన్లీ 2 times ఆఫ్ యువర్ ర్యామ్ మెమరీ ఈజ్ రికమెండెడ్. హార్డ్ డిస్క్ స్పేస్ ఉంది కదా అని చెప్పి మనం 64 120 సో ఆ విధంగా ఇవ్వకూడదు. ఇట్ విల్ నాట్ వర్క్అవుట్. యూ అండర్స్టూడ్? పర్ఫార్మెన్స్ విల్ గోయింగ్ టు డిగ్రేడ్. పర్ఫార్మెన్స్ ఇంక్రీజ్ అవ్వకుండా ఉన్న పర్ఫార్మెన్స్ కూడా డ్రాప్ అయిపోయింది. So it is recommended maximum 2 times of your RAM memory. That's how your operating system architecture got designed. You understood, guys? Yep. What is the recommended values? Only 2 times of your RAM memory. And swap memory, always it's a contribution from your hard disk drive. When it will going to come into picture? Once, only after your RAM memory got fully exhausted, then only your swap memory comes into picture. If RAM memory is still available, no, swap memory is not coming to utilization mode. These points clear, guys? Yep.
Yes, sir.
Let me copy this. So let us write some more. That's it. సో ఇంటర్వ్యూ అడగొచ్చండి అడిగినప్పుడు మంచిగా నీట్గా చెప్పండి డిఫరెన్స్ వాట్ ఈస్ స్వాప్ మెమరీ బికాస్ యువర్ టాప్ కమాండ్ నౌ whenever you execute top command, let me execute again. Okay. So top is one very important command, which actually lists. It lists what are the high consuming processes first, and then low consuming processes next in a descending order. This is one information it gives top command. All the metrics like what is the total percentage CPU utilization, percentage memory utilization, what is the process that is consuming, time, this is what residence memory and virtual memory, how much virtual memory is getting used or residential memory. But these are not very important. Please focus on CPU and memory, CPU and RAM memory. And apart from these processes, individual processes ఎంత కన్జ్యూమ్ చేసుకుంటుందని ఈ మెట్రిక్స్ ఇస్తుంది. In addition to that, it also gives what is the total physical memory. మీ సర్వర్లో what is the total physical memory? If you want to see, this is using top command, you can say this is the total RAM memory. In my almost it is in kilobytes and K and kilobytes long. If you convert into right a GB, it will be 2 GB. MB means around 2000 MB. You got it? Yep. So these are physical memory, and as we configured 2 times of your RAM memory, so this is your swap memory at this point of time, and how much is used, how much is free. Free means out of total memory, how much is got used, how much consumed. So total memory minus consumed memory, you will get how much is free, how much is available to use for further processes. Similarly, CPU. So this is how information you can see using top command. You understood? So next one is vmstat. See, vmstat is the most regular command we use in Linux servers to know what is the utilization of your hardware resources. This is another command most frequently we use. See, whenever I say vmstat, when I execute this command, so first let me say top command. Let me write this command. Okay. మీరు కూడా ఒకసారి 1-2 నిమిషాలు ఎక్స్క్యూట్ చేసి చూడాలి. Another command is vmstat. This is the output. So if you see here, vmstat is the command which gives some metrics like what is the free memory, what is the buffer memory, cache memory, and how much. CS means, right, your CPU utilization. So this is idle. These metrics are CPU related. These metrics are system related, IO related. These metrics swap related. So they categorize. దీని కింద ఉన్నటువంటి అన్ని కూడా స్వాప్ memory related. Clear? So for vmstat, we can provide two arguments. Let's say this is not the way we use this command actually. So we actually use this way. vmstat. Let's say I said 4 and 5. You see? Meaning is that it will run for 5 samples for every 4 seconds. What is the meaning? This is the time interval. Try to understand, guys. Meaning of vmstat 4 and 5. What these values meaning? 4 always refers to frequency, time interval. 5 always refers to number of samples. So by giving this command, I'm saying every 4 seconds, collect one sample or collect one metric. So likewise, total how many samples? 5 samples. You see, this is first metric, first value. It wait for 4 seconds, and after 4 seconds, it collected another value. Again, it waits for 4 seconds, it collects another value. So total, how many values? 5 values. What is the time interval? 4 seconds. You understood? Yep. If I want to execute for 1 hour, so what is the value I have to give? 60 divided by 4. You understood? 15 force, right? You understood this command? Let me write it here. So this is the command, and here 4 represents time interval. Let me write it here. We also can call it as a frequency. Is 4. Okay. Time duration. Number of samples. To be collected. Is what is this for? You understand the meaning now? Yes. Now you tell me. So what I'm saying, from here, the value 4 represents vmstat. I have given 2 arguments. First argument is, you can give any number, guys. You can give any number, but I have given number as 4, and space, I have given another number as 5. So what is the meaning of these values? Once again, 4 represents always time interval. How frequency? What is the time interval or duration? How frequently system has to collect one value? I'm telling, after it will be in always seconds. You understood? Always first argument should be in seconds. This is the time duration. For every how frequently one sample has to be collected, that is the value. And next one is total how many values it has to collect. I'm saying collect 4 values and stop it. This is a tool. This is not only a command. vmstat is a command plus tool or utility in Unix to collect your metrics, hardware related utilization metrics. So I'm saying once I start this tool, I'm saying for every 4 seconds, get one sample. Likewise, collect for 5 samples. After you collect 5 samples, stop the tool. Is that clear, guys? Yep. So totally how many samples? First sample. So if you see, 5 samples will be there. Everyone. అర్థమైందా అవలేదా? Hello.
Yes, sir.
So 5 samples. We also can try. So my question is, let's say I want to run this tool continuously for 1 hour. 1 hour పాటు మన మెట్రిక్స్ తీసుకొచ్చి ఇస్తూ ఉండాలి. Let us say every 4 seconds. Every 4 seconds. Just మీ రిక్వైర్మెంట్ ఎలా ఉంటుందండి? Run vmstat tool or command. You also can say as tool or command. Command for 1 hour. For 1 hour. To collect metrics. Okay. For 1 hour. How many? For 1 hour. Let's say time frequency is same 4 seconds. 4 seconds. So total, how many samples will be collected? Yeah. So 1 hour part run aithe, that's the same 4 seconds. Total, how many samples will be collected?
15 samples.
60 divided by 4.
15 samples.
15. So simple. Okay. 15 samples will be collected. Or in a reverse way. If you give in a reverse way, if someone asks you to run this tool for 1 hour duration, you have to design your tool. The value says vmstat for 15. Indirectly, it runs for 1 hour. You understood? This is how we have to do the calculation. Yeah. That's it. Yeah. So next command is PS. How to see? It might be interview question. How to see what and all processes running in your system? And out of all total processes, if you want to grep and see a particular process, what is the command? Because the command is PS. PS, let us say -a. If I give this command, see, these are all the list of processes running in my system currently. In my Unix box, these are all the commands currently running in my system. What is the command I used? PS-AF. Clear? So let me copy some sample output. Next command is PS. PS means to list processes. It lists all the processes. So from here, this is one process. Whatever you see, commands, each command is like one process, whatever running. So each process, when it ran, what is the time? So who actually started this process? Which user? Let us say root user. What is for every process running in your system, we'll have one unique ID, which we call it as a process ID. And this is a time when it got run, when it got started, and this is a process name. Likewise, these are all the processes, list of processes running in my current Unix server. You understood? Running in my current Unix server. This is a PS is the command PS-AF to see. If someone asks you, first could you please list out and see, tell me what and all processes are running in your system, PS-. Other Windows like that, same task manager will give you the list of all the processes running. Clear? And when this command, we'll be using this command most frequently. What is the use case when it will be much useful to you? So let's say I have a very big list of commands. I'm not interested in going through all the list of processes, but let's say quickly I'm interested in only one particular process. I want to view only, let's say, only one record, information about only a particular process. It means only one record I am interested in. Let's say if this is a very big list. So going through all the processes list is very time consuming. Hence, quickly, if I want to filter and see only a particular record related to one process, so what is the command? The command is, let's say, pn-AF. So with the combination of grep is the command, pipe symbol, grep, and you say. So this is the same command I'm a little bit enhancing. PS-AF command with a pipe symbol, with the combination of pipe symbol. This is pipe symbol and grep command. So this gives you, let's say I'm interested only in particular bash. E particular process record matrame naku kavali. Then you say bash. You see? So total how many? Bash is running. The same bash is running with different multiple processes. Hence it has given how many records? 4 records. So let's try for another record, not bash or some other process. So let's say, let me take, which one you take? Or if any Java is running in the system, quickly if I want to see. So out of all these processes, there is one processor Java running in my system. If your management asked you, first could you please kill Java process? Java process is not required. Or there are two ways. Can you please check whether Java is running in your system or not? Once if it is running, could you please kill that process? If this is the requirement from your management, then because I have very huge list of processes. So I am not interested in going through all the list. Very time consuming. Then quickly, how to grep or find only for a particular process related information is the command. You understood? I'm doing that. I'll explain this command in more detail. So when I execute this command, what is happening? It is not displaying all the processes related information, but whatever process I'm interested only in Java. I'm telling, get all the information, but keep it in buffer memory, temporary memory. But to me, display only Java process related information only. Don't display all the processor related information. So please display only one process, Java related information, only one record. Hence, it is displaying, you see, there is a Jenkins running in my system. This Jenkins is using Java internally. Hence, it display. This is the process side. ఆ సిస్టంలో జెన్కిన్స్ అనేది రన్ అవుతూ ఉందండి. చూడండి ఇక్కడ. You understood? A Jenkins internally Jenkins using Java. Hence, there is one processor running which is internally using Java. That particular record only it fetched and displayed. So whenever you want to filter from a huge output, if you're not interested, all the output from this only, let's say, some of the process related, only one or two process related information only you are interested. Yes, this is how you have to display in Unix. Everything using command name. Now I will explain what is this PS-AF pipe symbol and grep combination. Very important command. Please focus. Next command is this is the combination. You understood? like this. Let me explain the diagram. Yep. I'm searching for the already existing diagrams. Give me a second. Yeah. All right. Very important comment. Please focus. So here to better understand to command, let us take one example. I have two tanks, two water tanks. This is first water tank and this is second one. We have two water tanks. Tank one is full of water. Tank two is empty. We want to drive water from tank one to tank two. So how to send or drive water from tank one to tank two? First one is full of water, second one is empty. So we connect something known as pipe in between. Let's say I connected these two tanks with pipe. Then water can flow from tank one to tank two. So this is outlet for tank one, and this is input for tank two. You understood? Whatever the end pipe two ends ఉంటాయండి, pipe కి two ends ఉంటాయి. First end is acting as a outlet for tank one. The other end of the pipe is acting as a input to the second tank. You understood? So same concept for to understand grep as well. So what will happen is, let's say, explain in other let's say this is the command. Okay. All right, yes. So let's say this is the command. If I divide this command into two parts, this is what happens. Let's say command is ps hyphen aef. This is one part. This is one part. It is separated by pipe. The other part, there are two commands here. మీరు careful గా observe చేస్తే two commands ఉన్నాయండి. Another one is grep. Let's say in Java. You understood? So I will say this is command 1. Command 1 and this is command 2. Both the commands got connected in between using pipe symbol. This is known as the pipe symbol. On your keyboard, this is the pipe symbol. So what is happening? Try to understand. First, this command will execute ps-aef, the first part of the. Of course, this putting together, this is a single command. But whenever this command executes, at the background, it actually got split into two commands. So this is the first part and this is the second part. You understood? Let's say this is the second part. So what will happen is, as usual, first command will get executed. When this command got executed, the first half of this portion of the command will get executed. First command will get executed. So as a result, just now I shown you ps-aef. -aef are the options for this command. Whenever this ps-aef command executes, what is the output it produces? ps-aef. Try to bisect into two commands and understand what is the output we are getting when we execute each command separately. So when we execute the first command ps-aef, this is the output we are getting. What is the output? Very big list of all the processes running in my system. We are getting very huge output. So once the first command got executed, this huge output, all the list of process list, it will not display. Rather, it will store that information in one buffer memory, temporary memory. You understood? So e command execute. Once this part of first part of command got executed, ఇక్కడ అవుట్పుట్ ఏదైతే డిస్ప్లే చేసిందో ఈ అవుట్పుట్ అంతా కూడా ఒక బఫర్ మెమరీ, టెంపరరీ మెమరీలో స్టోర్ చేసుకుంటుంది. Let's say this is a temporary memory. So it got stored in temporary memory. I will call this as, let's say, source 1. And there is second part of memory, second part of the command. This is the second part of the command. Very simple. Pipe left hand side unnatuntidi, this is one command, another command. Whenever we execute this entire command, once the ps-aef got executed, the entire output, the outcome edaithe vachinదో dani oka temporary memory lo pettukuntadi. I am calling that as a source 1. And the source 1 will act or given as input to the next command. Whatever the outcome produced by this first part of command will be supplied as an input to the second command. And this command will executed upon this source of information. And we know that the source of information is very huge list of processes list. By executing the second part of the command, the meaning is whatever, take this source of information as reference. From this, search only for this record. Java ane record maatrame search chesi final output filter chesi display cheyamani ardham. You understood? First ee command execute ayi, whatever the outcome it produces, it will be stored in a temporary memory. And the second part of the command, the source of information is provided as an input. ఈ హ్యూజ్ లిస్ట్ ఏదైతే ఉందో దాని ఇన్పుట్ కింద ప్రొవైడ్ చేసి దానిలో వీఆర్ టెలింగ్ grep మీన్స్ ఫిల్టర్, grep మీన్స్ సెర్చ్ అండ్ ఫిల్టర్. సెర్చ్ చేసి ఫిల్టర్ చేయమంటున్నాం. లెట్స్ 500 ఈ ఫస్ట్ సోర్స్ 1లో 500 రికార్డ్స్ ఉన్నాయి అనుకుందాం. 500 రికార్డ్స్. ఐఎమ్ నాట్ ఇంట్రెస్టెడ్ ఇన్ ఆల్ ద 500 రికార్డ్స్. ఐఎమ్ టెలింగ్ ఓన్లీ ఐఎమ్ ఇంట్రెస్టెడ్ ఇన్ ఓన్లీ one record and the process name is Java. Please search grep only Java related information and display it to me. That's how we are getting this output. You understood? It is not displaying entire information. Rather, this first part will actually displays all this information if you execute separately. But if you execute the combination, ఈ పార్ట్ ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ అయిన తర్వాత ఇదంతా ఇక్కడ డిస్ప్లే చేయదు కానీ ఒక బఫర్ మెమరీలో పెట్టుకుంటుంది. ఆ సోర్స్ మొత్తాన్ని దీనికి సెకండ్ కమాండ్కి ఇన్పుట్ కింద ఇస్తుంది. సో ఫ్రమ్ దట్ బిగ్ లిస్ట్ ఐఎమ్ టెలింగ్, ఫ్రమ్ దిస్ బిగ్ లిస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ప్రాసెసెస్, grep or search only for a particular record, that is Java, and display to me. That is the meaning, and that's how this output got produced. You understood, guys? Yep. In between, how these two commands got connected? Using pipe symbol. This actually logically these two commands got splitted into two different commands, and they got connected using in between pipe symbol, just like how we work. Two water tanks got connected, because even here also what is happening? We have a lot of water from first tank always the output end. So ikkada edaithe undo, output of tank 1 is acting as input to the second command, is it not? You understood? Yes or no?
Yes, sir. It's very much clear.
Yeah.
ఎవరింత బాగా ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేయారు, చాలా క్లియర్ గా ఉంది.
Grep command. So ps command with the combination of pipe symbol and grep. Okay. Yeah. So let me copy these two diagrams. Finally, మీకు అర్థమైందా లేదా అదే ఇంపార్టెంట్. ఓకే,
It's చాలా క్లియర్ ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేస్తున్నారు.
బాగా అర్థమవుతుంది.
జనరల్ గా ఒక కమాండ్ ని మామూలుగా చెప్పేసుకుంటూ వెళ్ళిపోతారు. మీరు అసలు ఇంత క్లియర్ గా చెప్తుంటే బ్రెయిన్ లో అలా రిజిస్టర్ అయిపోతున్నాయి విత్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్స్.
గుడ్.
థ్యాంక్ యూ సార్.
సో ఈ కమాండ్ రెగ్యులర్ గా యూజ్ చేస్తామండి. రెగ్యులర్ గా మీ డైలీ యూజ్ చేస్తూ ఉంటాము. సో మల్టిపుల్ టైమ్స్ ప్రాక్టీస్ చేయండి, and from this big list, right? So try to grab not only Java, you have a lot of processes, you try to grab any record. So even you order process lab, you can grab this is the process, another process, whatever information quickly. If you want to grab and see, this is the command. And real time low, let's say your management asked you, can you in a particular server, can you quickly find out whether Java process is running or not? So this is how you can view. And if they ask you, once you find Java is running, please kill that process. We don't want Java to run in this server. So could you please kill that process? If it is in Windows లో ఏం చేస్తామంటే రైట్ క్లిక్ చేసి విల్ ఎండ్ ఇట్. ఎండ్ అంటే ఆ ప్రాసెస్ కిల్ అయిపోతుంది. సో దట్ CPU అండ్ RAM మెమరీ రిసోర్సెస్ ఏవైతే ఉన్నాయో అలొకేట్ అయిన ఫ్రీ అవుతుంది. సో అట్లానే how to end a particular process or kill a particular process in Linux. So kill is the command. Kill -9 is the option we use, unconditional option. Kill is the command if you want to kill it unconditionally. So say kill -9 process ID. Let's say this is the process ID. Okay, this is the process ID. Do that process. Now I don't want to kill, but because you see here process ID, PID, for every process running, ఈ సిస్టంలో రన్ అయ్యే ప్రతి ప్రాసెస్కి ఒక ఐడి ఉంటుంది, యూనిక్ ఐడి. దిస్ ఈస్ ద ప్రాసెస్ ఐడి. ఇఫ్ యూ వాంట్ టు కిల్ ఎనీ ప్రాసెస్, యూ హ్యావ్ టు కిల్ యూజింగ్ ప్రాసెస్ ఐడి, PID. సో ఇఫ్ ఐ వాంట్ టు కిల్, if I say kill -9 process ID, the Java process will get killed. All right, don't use it unless it is required. So let me write it. Next, move on to, let's see some VA editor related commands. I think I have given with very nice color coding for previous batch. Okay. Yeah. Let me copy this. So next is VA editor commands. All right. So let's see this. So what is VA editor? You remember? Just like Notepad, Notepad++. In Linux, we have editors VA and VAM. So we also have said. So this is our working directory. We have created some directories and files here. We created files using touch command as well as VA editor VA command. So let me open one file. Let's say, let me create a new file, another new file using VA editor. Let's say my file name is file2.txt. So what is the another way of creating a file in Unix using VA editor command? VA space file name. Yeah. So it's like a notepad. Let's say I have opened notepad, a brand new notepad. In Windows, it's just like notepad. Let's say I have opened notepad. Then I started working. I can type. So any editor is meant for to type some text, some data. You can store some information, you can enter some information, then finally you can save this file. This is the purpose of any editor. Similarly, here also I opened one blank editor. So to type, initially it will not allow to type any text here. So what we have to do, guys? If you want to type some text, what we have to do? Escape I. Say escape I, then it will take you to the insert mode. ఇక్కడ మీకు కింద insert అని రావాలి. So only when you are in insert mode, then only start type some text. Otherwise, no, it will not allow. ఒకవేళ టైప్ చేసినా జిగ్జాగ్ గా సో సరిగా ఉండదు. So don't do that. Always you have to go to insert mode, then only start typing any text you want. So now escape I'm in insert mode. I started, enter some text. So let's say line 1. So this is my see. So I have entered some data. You can enter any data. Yeah. So whenever you have some lines in VA editor, if you want to save and exit, what you have to do? Escape : WQ. WQ. If you give only W, it will save. And a control sorry, W exit quit. If you say escape : W, it only saves your content. Still control will be here. It will not exit from the file. Let's see now. You see, it is not exit. It has not quit from the file. It is still, we are still in the file. It is as good as Windows lo manu anestamu. So we'll say control S, save jastam, but still will be here. WQ is equal to save and quit. It is as good as save and close this file. So I'm not doing, I don't want to quit. I want to be in the file itself. So I only save the content. Whatever I entered, So let's say again insert I entered some more content. Then I will say escape W. So whenever you say escape W, the content will be saved, but the control will be, you will be still in the file, will be still in the editor. So let's say this time I want to enter some more lines, but this time I want to save and quit, save and quit. So for that escape colon WQ. WQ. If you say only Q, it will not save the latest content, save chedu, but only exit out the file and close chestadi. It is as good as don't save, but close the file. In Windows, it is equal to don't save the content, quit from the file. You understood? So hence I will say here, when I say WQ, it means save and quit, save and quit. Understood, guys? Yep. Save and quit. So open the file again. Your content will be there. This is one part. This is one part. In VA editor, how to enter your text, save, quit, or save without quit. So you do whatever you want. Another part is how to work in this VA editor. VA editor ఎలా వర్క్ చేయాలి? For example, let me copy the same in here. So ఇక్కడ అదే టెక్స్ట్ కాపీ చేశాను విండోస్ లో. In Windows, you just recollect what we do regularly in Windows. Regular గా మనం విండోస్ ఏం చేస్తాం ఒకసారి recollect చేసుకోండి. ఏం చేస్తాం? In editor, in Notepad or Notepad++. So let's say I can delete a character by character. Right? So once I delete, I can undo. Control Z means undo. I can retain back, or we can delete one word at a time. We can again undo, or I can delete a complete line at a time. Control Z. Or if I want, I can delete multiple lines at a time. You understood? And these are all the activities we do in Windows, in VA editor. Let's say I can create some empty lines in between. I can delete some empty lines. Let's say I want to copy and paste one line. Or we also can copy and paste multiple lines at one shot. It is possible. Or I can delete one line or multiple lines at one shot. That is also possible. Or I can do something known as Control F and find for a particular word, you see. Next occurrence. So we can do search for a particular words, particular pattern in VA editor in Windows. And we also can replace some of the words, right? If it is a notepad, Notepad++, we still have some more. Right? Let's say options like left hand side, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, all this numbering. అవునండి, left hand side numbers చూడొచ్చు మీరు. సో విధంగా in every editor, because Notepad++ is still far mature than Notepad. So Notepad లో numbers రావు కానీ ఇక్కడ numbers కూడా మనం చూడొచ్చు. Let's say if you have, what is the use of these numbers? If you have very huge, let's say this is a very huge file, contains around 1000 lines. Then if you want to quickly go to a particular line, if you have a numbering left hand side, it is very easy to go to a particular line. ఒక పర్టికులర్ లైన్కి వెళ్ళి మీరు ఏదో చేయాలి. సో ఇలా నంబరింగ్ ఉంటే చాలా బాగుంటుంది కాబట్టి. సో దిస్ ఈజ్ ఆల్సో వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్. సో ఆల్ దీస్ యాక్టివిటీస్ వాట్ ఎవర్ వీ డూ, ఇప్పుడు మనం చేసినటువంటి డిలీటింగ్ ఏ వర్డ్, క్యారెక్టర్ ఆర్ లైన్స్, కాపీ అండ్ పేస్ట్ మల్టిపుల్ లైన్స్, సో సర్చ్ ఫర్ ఏ పర్టికులర్ వర్డ్, ఇవన్నీ కూడా ఎక్కడ చేసామండి? వీ డిడ్ ఆల్ దీస్ యాక్టివిటీస్ ఇన్సైడ్ ద ఎడిటర్ ఇట్ సెల్ఫ్. ఒక నోట్ ప్యాడ్ అనే ఎడిటర్ లోపల చేసినటువంటి కమాండ్స్ ఆర్ యాక్టివిటీస్ ఇవన్నీ, నాట్ అవుట్ సైడ్, within the editor. So these are all the actions or activities we do most regularly in Windows. Same thing how to achieve in Linux using commands. As these commands we are going to use now are with respect to only VA editor, hence they are called as a VA editor commands. Of course Linux commands only, but specifically related to VI editor, hence we call them as VI editor commands. You understood? Now let us see how to do all those actions here in VA editor. Is that clear? Very good. So now let's first one. Let me delete a character by character. For that you have to say escape I, then say delete. Either you can press your delete button, so it will delete once you are in insert mode, press your delete button. Then if you want to return back, undo, equal to control Z, you can say escape U, escape U, escape U. It brings you back your whatever you deleted. So how to delete? Escape I, place your cursor wherever you want to delete. A character delete cheyali akkada petti. Either you can say delete or you can say X, escape X, sorry. Escape X, escape X, escape X. You can use escape X, 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 or otherwise in insert mode, you also can use delete. Escape U to bring back, equal to control Z, equal to control Z in Windows. What is the option here? Say escape U, escape U. You can retain your content. You understood? So I think all these comments I have written here. Yeah. See here. Let me write another command. Escape X to delete one character at a time. All right. So next we'll see how to delete a word. To delete a word, say escape DW is the combination. So let me show you. Bring your cursor where, right? Which word you want to delete? Let's say I want to delete this particular word. I want to delete this word. So escape DW. See, escape DW. Whenever you say escape DW, quickly it deletes. Because sometimes deleting character by character might take some time. Always you have to make sure how to do your work more quickly with more fast. Okay, more speed. So to delete one word at a time, what is the command? Escape DW. Then escape U, bring back. Clear, guys? Right? Escape DW to delete a word. Then how to copy one line at a time. Next, let me show you how to delete a line at a time. So this is how to delete each character at a time, how to delete each word at a time. Now how to delete a complete line at a time, how to delete a line at a time. So what is the command? For the right, the veditor command is escape DD. It is that. So bring your cursor. Let's say I want to delete this line. I want to delete this line. Say escape DD. Again you say escape DD. So this is how we can delete your each lines, line by line in your V editor. Escape U to bring back. You understood? Yep. And let's see how to copy lines now. So if I want to copy a particular line, so whatever line you want to copy, let's say bring cursor to beginning of the line. Then say escape YY. YY means yank. YY yank in Linux. When you say escape YY, it is equivalent to copy and bring the cursor where you want to paste. Just say P. Just say P. You see? You understood? So what is the command to copy? Escape YY. It copies that line. Bring your cursor where you want to paste it. Just say P. Just say P. So escape YY to copy one line. Bring your cursor where you want to paste it. Paste it. Then to create a new line, let's say you want to create one new empty line. Then escape O. So let's say here I want to create one new line. Escape. Just say on your keyboard. Escape key O. Escape O. You can create new line this way, or you also can create in insert mode, bring your cursor to the end of the line. Just like in Windows, hit enter key, hit enter key. In two ways you can do it. You understood, guys? Yeah. So next one is, let's say we know how to copy and paste one line, escape YYP. If I want to copy multiple lines at one shot, let's say I want to copy 8 lines or 4 lines at a time. 4 lines at a time. Then what is the command? Instead of saying escape YY, you say escape 4YY. It will copy 4 lines at a time. Shall we see this? So let's say, keep your cursor here. Keep your cursor here. Escape 4YY. It copied 4 lines. Bring your cursor where you want to paste it. Just say P. You see? You understood? 4 lines got pasted. Let me create a here. So let's say my cursor is here. Escape 4 YY. So bring your cursor where you want to paste. Just say P. See, 4 lines got copied and pasted here. Is that clear? Yep. So to copy a single line, this is the command to copy multiple lines at one shot. So give the number of lines YY. Next is how to see numbering forever. Let's say this is a VA editor. This is your file where some text is there. Let's say you have too many lines. You have too many lines. We also can give numbering here. Say escape colon set NU. Set NU. What is the command? Escape colon set space NU. It actually gives numbering to your all the each line in your VA editor. Clear? Yeah. If you want to search for a particular word, and any file within the VA editor, let's say I want to search for a particular word, then say forward slash, let's say I want to search for a dog. See, if you want to find more occurrences, the same word dog, multiple occurrences unnaya ani meer find cheyalante, so keep on press N means next, N. So how many occurrences are there? It will take you, it will traverse through all the occurrences of the particular pattern. So how to find any word? Forward slash, let's say cat. You understood, guys? Yep. So say next. For multiple occurrences, say next. Clear? Yeah, of course, I have written very clearly here. Only if you want to save, once you type all your text, if you want to only save, say colon W, escape colon W. If you want to say and quit, right? This is the command. If you want to quit without saving, say only Q. Clear? Yep. That's all our VA editor commands you have to practice. ఈ VA editor commands ఎంత బాగా ప్రాక్టీస్ చేస్తే అంత ఫాస్ట్ గా మీరు వర్క్ చేయగలరు యూనిక్స్ లో. సో మల్టిపుల్ టైమ్స్ take one, create one file. So let me save it and come out. So using VA editor, create one file, enter a text whatever you want, and start practicing all these VA editor commands. You do that, everyone. Chestara?
Yes, sir.
So next command is permissions. Very important. Permissions. So this is very important. Please focus. So as a admin, as a DevOps engineer, sometimes you may have to play admin role as well. So Unix servers maname create cheyabothunam kabatti, you have to take care of all these Unix servers. It means you have to play, you might have to play a role of admin. Admin means who actually takes care of the server. As an admin, sometimes you may have to deal with permissions and కొన్ని files, folders, different engineering teams ఉంటాయి. So let's say development teams. Once we create these Unix servers, every choose engineering teams. The idea we create this infrastructure or number of servers is after that you have to hand over these servers to the engineering teams. ఈ ప్రాజెక్ట్ పైన ఎవరైతే వర్క్ చేస్తున్నారో డెవలప్మెంట్ టీమ్స్ టెస్టింగ్ టీమ్స్ వాళ్ళందరూ కూడా మనం ఈ సర్వర్స్ అన్ని క్రియేట్ చేసి వాళ్ళకి ఇస్తాము. సో డెవలపర్స్ టెస్టర్స్ వాళ్ళందరూ కూడా ఈ సర్వర్స్ వాడుకుంటూ ఉంటారు. అండ్ యాజ్ ఎ అడ్మిన్ విత్ ఇన్ దీస్ సర్వర్స్, ఇన్సైడ్ దీస్ సర్వర్స్, you might be creating some files and folders. Once you create some files and folders, you have to provide permissions. మీరు ఏ పర్మిషన్స్ ఇస్తే ఆ పర్మిషన్స్ వాళ్ళకి వర్తిస్తాయి. లెట్స్ ఏ డెవలప్మెంట్ టీమ్ ఉంది, టెస్టింగ్ టీమ్ ఉంది. ఇన్ ఎవ్రీ టీమ్ జూనియర్ ఇంజనీర్స్ ఉంటారు, సీనియర్ ఇంజనీర్స్ ఉంటారు, లీడ్స్, మేనేజర్స్. వీళ్ళందరికీ సేమ్ పర్మిషన్స్ ఇవ్వం యూజువల్లీ. లెట్స్ దెర్ ఇస్ ఎ సర్వర్, there is a server 1. Let's say there is server 1. Here I created, let's say as an admin, you created one folder, let's say development. So development, let's say project 1. Okay, folder create chesaru meeru. So similarly, let's say another folder you have created. Within this server, you assume that there is a folder. There is a folder. In another folder you have created testing team. Testing team, another person. Likewise, you might be creating different folders. So within this folder, let's say you have some files, F1, F2, F3, etc. Similarly, within this folder, you might be having you create or they might create. So వాళ్ళ team ఎవరైతే ఉన్నారో వాళ్ళు create చేయొచ్చు. So let's say F4, F5, F6. All right. So in real time, there are 2 folders. There are as a admin. So for this server, let's say you have created 2 directories. One is for development and another one is for testing team. And likewise, let's say I have let's say 50 files. And here let us say I have another 100 files. Whenever I say development team, there might be junior developer, senior developer, there might be leads, managers. So whatever directory you have created, you may not be as an admin. Let's say you are the admin for this server. So as an admin, once you create a project related folders and files, you have to give the permissions also. And permissions will vary based on the designation. The development folder, which belongs to development team, right? So for junior engineers, you might have given, or you would have to give only read permission. For senior engineers, let's say read and write permission. For leads and managers, all the permissions, let us say. And similarly for test project also. So whatever permissions as an admin you provide, only with those permissions they can access these files and folders. You understood? Admin kinda, you have to take care of all these things. You have to manage this server. మీరు ఏవైతే ఫోల్డర్స్ క్రియేట్ చేశారో, ఏ ఫోల్డర్స్ కి ఫైల్స్ ఏవైతే పర్మిషన్స్ ఇచ్చారో టు ఈచ్ ఇంజనీర్, ఓన్లీ దోస్ పర్మిషన్స్ దే విల్ గెట్. వన్స్ దే లాగ్ ఇన్, దే కెన్ యాక్సెస్ ఆర్ రీడ్ అండ్ రైట్, రైట్? సో దే డూ, or they can access the directories and folders based on the permissions you granted. You understood? So this is to do this admin work, that is to provide different permissions for folders and files for each team separately. First you should know how to deal with permissions in Linux. Permissions are nothing but giving access permissions, providing or restricting. You provide permissions or restrict permissions, right? So you do whatever you want, but for that you should know how to deal with permissions in Linux server. If you ask me, Anna, how many types of permissions will be there in Linux array, right? With regard to anything. So primarily there will be only 3 permissions, guys. One is read, write, and execute. Read, write, and execute. So read permission, either we can represent as plus or 4. Write permission, either we can represent as plus W or 2. Execute permission, either we can represent as plus X or 1. Understood? Everyone. Just remember this table. If you want to represent numerically a read, write, execute permission, you have to go for 421, 421. If you would like to represent these permissions alphabetically, so write characters plus or W and X. Just remember this table, we're going to see now. All right. I have some files and folders here. Let's say ls-l. To see what are the existing permissions for your folder files and folders, you have to say ls. So I think, let me show you this. Till now, we used only these commands, ls, to list files and folders. ls command have another option. If you say ls-l, in addition to ls command, two ls command, if you use one option -l, this option is to display long list. You see here? The difference between ls command and ls-l. Using ls command, we are able to see it displayed only names, directory names and file names. But using ls-l command, it displayed not only names, but it also displayed some additional information. This is equivalent to, let's say, in Windows. Let me open. So Windows lo kuda manam oka directory open chesamu. Let's say I have opened one directory. Inside this directory, as soon as we go inside this directory, I have so many files and folders. So దీనిలో కొన్ని files and folders ఉన్నాయి. Let us see. You understood? Let's say I have some files and folders. If you go to view in Windows, I say only list. Only list means only names మాత్రమే వచ్చాయి. If I want to change the view, in Windows also we have option to change the views, different views. So this is a simple view where you can see only the names of the files and folders, which is equivalent to ls command here. But if you want to see more information in Windows, I want to see when these files and folders got created, timestamp along with timestamp and who created, and what is the size of each file and folder. So likewise information, if you want to see more information in Windows, you have to change the option. What is the option? You may have to say details. If you say details, you will get still more information. Not only names, along with the names, what is the date modified, what is the type of this file, whether it is a file or folder. So what is the size? What is the size of each file, right? So this is how even in Windows, we have different views to see more and more information about your files and folders. The same concept here as well. So using basic command ls, we only see names of directories and folders. So if this information is not sufficient to you, you can use ls-l, with which you can see still more information. Not only names, you also can view some information. What is this additional information it displayed? We using ls-l. Now we are going to focus. Clear, guys? Yeah. So
Yes, sir.
Yep. Yep. All right. So we have some directories as well here. So these are the directories. Remaining all, let's say, files. Okay. So from this, let me copy this in. When I copy here, సార్ చూడండి. So this is user who created this file. Let's say whether it is a directory or file, these are all the names, and this is user who created this. Next we'll going to see how to create users as well, don't worry. But this is which user created this directory? Root. And to which group it belongs to? It belongs to root. ఇక్కడ user group name రెండు ఒకటే. So the first this represents what is which user it got created, and this represents to which group this directory or file belongs to. And this is a size. Let's say this is the size of the directory. This is the size of the file. As these files doesn't have any content, that's why 0 bytes. So this always represents size. And this is timestamp when it got created. You understood? So it means what it is. Let's say this is user who created, to which group it belongs to. And let us say this is size. This column represents size of the file and folder. And this column represents timestamp. And this is actually name of your file or directory. You understood? Yes. And whatever is there here, so these are all permissions. So ఇక్కడ మనం ఏమైతే చూస్తున్నామో ఇవి permissions. These are all permissions. Shall we try to understand what are these permissions? Yeah. Right. All right. So technically, let me copy this for you first. All right. So now we know that e columns ani manaku telusu. This column is a user, this column is group, this column represents size, this column represents right time, and this is the names. We know that. We understood now. And what is left out now? What is left out? Now left out is this column. All right. So let's bisect and understand what it is. So these are known as the flags. You see, I have 3 flags. Total I have 9 flags here. These are known as the flags. Total I have 9 flags. And this is the very first flag. Very first flag tells you whether it is a directory or a file. If the very first flag is D, it is simply a directory. If the very first flag is blank, simply it is a file. So how to distinguish the difference between file and a directory in Unix? Technical ga ela identify cheyali ante this is how. In Unix, how to identify whether it is a directory or a file technically. So the first flag decides. If the first flag is D, it is a directory. If it is a blank, it is a file. You understood? Yep. Very good. So next comes, next ఇంకేమున్నాయన్నా అంటే, yes, next ఏమున్నాయండి? We have these 9 flags, which are called as permissions. ఈ 9 flags permissions అంటాం. ఒకసారి చూడండి. The first 3 flags belongs to owner of the file. Next 3 flags belongs to group permissions అంటారు. The next 3 flags belongs to others. So I write here. So first 3, right? Owner. Yes. Owner. Next 3 flags belongs to group. And the last 3 flags belongs to others. Is that clear, guys? Yep. It means, now you tell me, for this particular directory, for owner, who is the owner? Root user. Root is the owner. For root user, owner of this directory, what are the permissions is having? Read, write, and execute. For group means like it's a WhatsApp group. Mana WhatsApp group etla undo. So atlane 10 in Unix also ఒక 10 users ఉంటే 10 users కలిపి ఒక గ్రూప్ కింద క్రియేట్ చేయొచ్చు. So group కింద ఎవరైతే ఉన్నారో whoever the group is. So group is having only how many, what are the permissions? Read and execute, no write permission. Similarly for others, we have only read and execute permission, no write permission. You understood this? Hello. Is that doing that? Yes. Yeah, now you tell me. Coming back to here. For file1.txt, is it a file or a directory? Everyone. Because the first
file.
the first flag is blank, hence it is a file. So if someone asks you, what are the permissions for this file? Owner of the file, whoever the owner of this file, what are the permissions he's having? Only read and write. Read and write. So what are the permissions group is having? Only read. Others only read. If this is a directory, then owner is having read, write, execute permission, right? Group is having read and execute, no write permission. Others having read and execute, no write permission. You understood? Now let us try to change the permissions. This is understanding. Now we finished understanding about existing permissions. Now how to deal with, how to change. Can I change any of these permissions for any of the files or directories? Can I modify? Can I change means? Yes. Let us do it now. Okay. So let's say for file1.txt, let's take file1.txt. I want to change for file1.txt. First, let us decide what permissions we are willing to give. For this file, let's say I want to give these permissions. For owner, let's say read, write, execute. Right? So for group, let's say only read, write. Read, write. Let's say for others, what are the permissions? Let's say read and execute. Shall we try to grant these permissions? The permissions provide chedama? Yeah. Okay. To do this, let's say chmod is the command. What is the command? Chmod. I'll write. Let me write these permissions here. These are all the total permissions we have. Now you tell me. So for this particular file, we have decided for owner, group, others. For this particular file, we decided to provide these below permissions. Then what could be the command? Chmod is the command. What is the command? Chmod. Okay. Chmod is the command. To give these permissions, let's say read, write, read, write, execute. You can add 4 plus 2 plus 1. So it becomes 7. Then for group, I want to give only read and write. Read and write means 4 plus 2. How much it is? 6. For others, I want to give only read and execute. Read and execute means 4 plus 1, 5. You understood? So this is the command. If you execute, let's execute this command. I say chmod is the command. So 765, right? 765. For which file? File1.txt. This is how you have to give the command. Chmod is the command to change the existing permissions of a file or folder. Then what are the new permissions you want to grant? I want to grant, these are the permissions. For which file? So frame this command, just say execute. Now you say ls-l. Once you execute that command, just check whether permissions got changed or not. Change any of such one. ఇక్కడ ఏమున్నాయండి రీడ్ రైట్, ఇక్కడ ఏమున్నాయి రీడ్ రైట్ ఎగ్జిక్యూట్. సో రీడ్ రైట్ నెక్స్ట్ ఓన్లీ చేంజ్ అయినాయా లేవా? యూ అండర్స్టూడ్? ఎస్, యాజ్ పర్ అవర్ రిక్వైర్మెంట్.
సార్ అందులో ఓకే, రీడ్ రైట్ అనేది ఒక్కటి కాదా? ఒక పర్మిషన్
No,
రైట్
read is, so here read is one permission, read write execute 3 different permissions.
దెన్
read-
మరి ఒకసారి ఫైల్ 1 దగ్గరికి వెళ్ళాలి.
Which one?
ఫైల్ 1 లో
Yeah,
రీడ్ రైట్ ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ ఇచ్చేసాం, మళ్ళీ రీడ్ రైట్ ఇచ్చాం ఎందుకు?
yeah, here because here we
File 1.
decided for the same file
Okay.
1 how we want to మనం ఎలా ప్రొవైడ్ చేయాలని చెప్పి we have decided for owner read write execute, which is nothing but 7. Okay, for group is the other. Let me highlight here. So this is the line. So for this file we thought of giving this permission. So always think split into 3 parts. So this is for owner and this is for next 3 for group. All right, and next 3 for
ఓకే గాట్.
others.
Yeah.
Okay, others. So for this file owner read write execute owner. So it is nothing but sum of this you add here to represent numerically. Read means 4, write means 2, execute 1. If you want to give all the permissions 4 plus 2 plus 1 7. Okay, so that's what we have given here. This is equivalent to read write execute. For owner I want to provide read write execute, it's 5. For our group I want to provide, we decided to provide only read and write. Only read and write. So read and write means 4 plus 2. Next, read and execute for others. 4 plus 1, 5. You understood everyone? Yep. Clear, guys? chmod is the command and frame
Yes,
the
sir, clear.
permissions. What permissions you want to change? For which file you want to change? File or directory. So this is the command. Clear? Yep. Yep. So next, let us say, if I want to change group, let's say I have some more groups. And next, quickly take down. We have 2 other commands. Very, very important. How to create our own users. How to create our own users. In Linux. Another 10 minutes, please. How to create? Yeah. All right. Our own users. So what is the default user got created already? In Linux, what is the default user already available? Root user. We know that. Understood? So already root user to mana login avutunam. This user will actually got created by your system. Of course, only password we have provided, but user anna mana create cheyaledu. So it got created along with the installation, everyone. So now, if you ask me, Anna, can we create our own users in Linux? If you ask me, can we create our own users in Linux, just like how we create in Gmail, Facebook? We all know that Gmail, Facebook, they are all real-time servers. Similarly, every operating system, especially Linux operating systems, are servers. Even you got server softwares. So whenever I say server software, every server supports multiple users. We can create multiple users and we can log in with multiple users at a time. You remember these points, yeah? So in that way, CentOS, whatever we installed, idantha kuda CentOS operating system. Is it a server software or client software?
Clients of
Unix server. Unix server ఏదైతే ఉందో, is it a client software or server software?
Server software.
Server software.
server. Okay.
All
I
the
thought
operating,
putty.
all the operating systems
All
are, yeah,
operating.
okay, you thought putty, not putty. So of course we logged into putty using putty, but now we are in server one. So all Unix servers, Unix operating systems are server kind of softwares. Whenever I say it is a server, we can definitely, there will be option to create multiple users. Once you create multiple user accounts, right, with those user credentials, multiple users can log in into this server at a time and start working. Now we'll see. If you ask me, Anna, like just like in Gmail, Facebook, other servers, real-time servers, yeah, CentOS, Unix is also a server. Can we create multiple users here? If so, what are the commands? Very simple. So, and also, if you are admin, మీరు Unix admin అయితే మీరు పర్మిషన్స్ తో డీల్ చేయాల్సి ఉంటుంది. అండ్ ఇక్కడ సర్వర్స్ లో కొన్ని యూజర్స్ కూడా మీరే క్రియేట్ చేయాల్సి ఉంటుంది. డెవలపర్స్, టెస్టర్స్ ఉన్నారు. ప్రతి టీం కూడా 20 ఇంజనీర్స్, 30 ఇంజనీర్స్ ఉంటే ప్రతి ఇంజనీర్ కూడా యూజర్ నేమ్ పాస్వర్డ్ మీరే క్రియేట్ చేసి వాళ్ళకి ఇవ్వాలి. ఇస్తే వాళ్ళకి ఇచ్చి ఉన్నటువంటి పర్మిషన్స్ తో వాళ్ళు లాగిన్ అవుతారు. సో ఇన్ రియల్ టైమ్ సర్వర్స్ లో యూజర్స్, వాళ్ళకి పర్మిషన్స్ అందరూ ఇవన్నీ కూడా ఎవరు క్రియేట్ చేస్తారండి? ఇంజనీర్స్ డైరెక్ట్ క్రియేట్ చేసుకుంటారా? ఆర్ అడ్మిన్ విల్ టేక్ కేర్ ఆఫ్ దీస్ పర్మిషన్స్ అండ్ యూజర్స్? అడ్మిన్స్ రియల్ టైంలో రెస్పెక్ట్ టు అడ్మిన్స్, ఆ సర్వర్స్కి ఎవరైతే అడ్మిన్స్ ఉంటారో వాళ్ళు ప్రతి ఇంజనీర్కి కూడా యూజర్ నేమ్ పాస్వర్డ్ క్రియేట్ చేసి వాళ్ళకి ఏ పర్మిషన్స్, ఏమేమి యాక్సెస్ చేయాలో ఆ పర్మిషన్స్ ఇచ్చి ఆ క్రెడెన్స్ వాళ్ళకి ఇస్తారు. దెన్ యూజింగ్ దోస్ క్రెడెన్షియల్స్ దే కెన్ లాగిన్ అండ్ యాక్సెస్ రెస్పెక్టివ్ ఫంక్షనాలిటీస్. యు అండర్స్టూడ్? బట్ ద యూజర్స్ క్రియేషన్, పర్మిషన్స్ మెయింటైన్ చేయడం ఇవన్నీ కూడా అడ్మిన్సే చూసుకుంటారు. ఒక్కొక్కరికి మనం యాక్సెస్ ఇవ్వం సర్వర్. మనం క్రియేట్ చేసి యూజర్ క్రెడెన్షియల్స్ వాళ్ళకి ఇస్తే వాళ్ళు వాటితో లాగిన్ అయ్యి దే విల్ స్టార్ట్ వర్కింగ్. దిస్ ద ఐడియా. క్లియర్ గైస్? సో నౌ యాజ్ ఏ అడ్మిన్, ఫ్యూచర్ లో మీరు డెవాప్స్ ఇంజనీర్స్ అంటే యు ఆర్ అడ్మిన్స్ ఆల్సో గైస్. డెవాప్స్ అంటే ఆ డెవాప్స్ ఇంజనీర్ విల్ గోన్ టు ప్లే డిఫరెంట్ రోల్స్. నౌ ఇప్పుడు నెట్వర్క్ అడ్మిన్, సిస్ అడ్మిన్, లైనక్స్ అడ్మిన్ వాళ్ళ జాబ్స్ అన్ని పోయాయి. 15 జాబ్స్ కాస్త 4-5 జాబ్స్ అయ్యాయి. మిగతా వర్క్ అంతా ఎవరికి వచ్చిందంటే డెవాప్స్ ఇంజనీర్స్ కి. నౌ డెవాప్స్ ఇంజనీర్ ఈస్ ఆల్ రౌండర్. So you will act as a admin for your Unix server. You will act as a admin for your Ansible server. You act as admins for all the infrastructure you create. So hence, you have to now wear a hat of cap of admin. You have to assume you are an admin for this server. As an admin, what and all you have to do? You have to deal with the files and permissions of files and folders. You also have to create users and maintain these users. Now we are going to see how to create users in Linux servers. Are we good to go, everyone? Clear?
Clear, sir.
Very simple. In Unix, creating users, very simple. Only couple of commands. So user add is the command. User add, let's say I'll create Amar. That's it. Done. Simple command creates user. Once after I execute this command, ఏ ఎర్రర్ మెసేజ్ రాలేదంటే ఏమి, ఈ సక్సెస్ఫుల్ ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ అయినట్టే, యూజర్ క్రియేట్ అయినట్లే. Immediately once you create user, we have to provide password. So we use another command. PASSWD is the command. Passwd. For which user you want to create password? Just now I created user. For this user I want to create password. Say it is asking please provide password. You can give in real time, you can give any password you like, but here let us follow everyone same password. I told you to give Red Hat. Red Hat is the password. REDHAT. అందరూ కూడా ఒకే పాస్వర్డ్ ఇవ్వండి. రియల్ టైంలో మీరు ఏదైనా ఇచ్చుకోవచ్చు. యా. సో రీటైప్ న్యూ పాస్వర్డ్ రెడ్ హ్యాట్. అయిపోయింది. యూజర్ క్రియేషన్ డన్. నాట్ ఈవెన్ 1 minute. సో creating user, only couple of commands in Unix. User add. You understood? Easy or difficult? Easy or difficult?
Easy, sir.
Easy, sir.
Easy. Okay. Yeah. If you know commands, easy guys. Very easy. Linux is very easy. So user add quickly. I can create any number of users. So already ఈ కమాండ్ సక్సెస్ అయిందంటే, ఎర్రర్స్ రాలేదంటే యూజర్ సక్సెస్ఫుల్ గా క్రియేట్ అయినట్లే. And there are another two ways how to verify this user actually got created in your server or not. Okay, there are another two ways. There are another two ways we can verify whether this user got created in my Unix server or not. Technically, so how to do that as in below. సో టెక్నికల్ గా యూజర్ అసలు యాక్చువల్ క్రియేట్ అయ్యా లేదా మనం ఇంకొక రెండు విధాలుగా వెరిఫై చేయొచ్చు. సో దట్స్ వాట్ ఐఎమ్ టెలింగ్ నౌ. వన్స్ యూ క్రియేట్ యువర్ యూజర్ యూజింగ్ యూజర్ యాడ్ అండ్ పాస్ డబ్ల్యూడి సక్సెస్ఫుల్ గా క్రియేట్ అయ్యా లేదా టెక్నికల్ గా వెరిఫై చేయాలండి. జస్ట్ సే ఐడి యూజర్ ని. ఒకవేళ యూజర్ సక్సెస్ఫుల్ గా క్రియేట్ అయ్యి ఉంటే మనకి ఇటువంటి రికార్డు డిస్ప్లే అవ్వాలి. క్రియేట్ అవ్వకపోతే ఇట్ విల్ సే ఐ డోంట్ నో దిస్ యూజర్ అని మనకు చెప్పుద్ది. ఓకే, so let's say ID Amar. If it is successfully got created, it will have one record this way. It means UID. Every user we create in Unix will have one unique ID. Every user we create in Unix will have one unique ID. That is UID. And it will have one group ID as well. And to which groups Amar belongs to now. So remember whenever we create any brand new user using this command, ఇట్ విల్ నాట్ ఓన్లీ క్రియేట్, అది యూజర్ మాత్రమే క్రియేట్ చేయదు, యూజర్ క్రియేట్ చేసి దాంతో పాటు ఒక డిఫాల్ట్ గ్రూప్ కూడా క్రియేట్ చేస్తుంది విత్ ద సేమ్ నేమ్. వెనెవర్ వీ క్రియేట్ ఏ న్యూ యూజర్, ఇట్ క్రియేట్స్ దిస్ యూజర్ ప్లస్ ఇట్ క్రియేట్స్ వన్ న్యూ గ్రూప్ విత్ ద వాట్ ఈస్ ద నేమ్ ఆఫ్ ద న్యూ గ్రూప్ విత్ ద సేమ్ నేమ్. సో దట్ ఈస్ వాట్ Amar. So this is UID, user ID, this is group ID. You understood? Now Amar is part of which groups? By default it assigns this user to this group. So that's how Amar అనే పేరుతో ఒక యూజర్ క్రియేట్ చేస్తే ఒక గ్రూప్ కూడా క్రియేట్ చేస్తుంది. చేసి ఈ Amar అనే యూజర్ ని this the first user it assigns to this user, this particular group. You understood? ఆ డిఫాల్ట్ క్రియేట్ చేసిన గ్రూప్ కి ఫస్ట్ యూజర్ ని Amar అనే యూజర్ ని అసైన్ చేస్తుంది. Later you can assign some more users if you want. You can include some more users under this group. Just like in WhatsApp group, we can include any number of users under any group. Just like that, we can include some more users later to this group. But by default, whenever we create one user, how many, right? What it is doing, it is creating one user. It is also creating one group. This is a user ID, unique ID. This is ID is unique for every user. So every user we created will have one unique user ID, one unique group ID. This is the group name. Clear? Yep. Just remember this.
Yes, sir. సార్ ఇక్కడ అమర్ అని యూజర్ క్రియేట్ చేసాం కదా సార్, అది పాస్వర్డ్ మనం ఇచ్చేటప్పుడు క్యారెక్టర్స్ తక్కువ ఉన్నాయని చెప్పి బ్యాడ్ పాస్వర్డ్ అని చూపిస్తుంది సార్, లేదంటే ఎవ్రీ యూజర్ క్రియేట్ చేసినప్పుడు మళ్ళీ పాస్వర్డ్ అని చేంజ్ చేసుకోవాలి?
Let me create another user. What you're saying? Let's say user add. Okay. I'll create another user. Let's say who are the users? Let me take Sunil. Okay. User add Sunil. I created one user. Next pass WD Sunil. Now what you are saying here? What you are saying here?
Red
Well,
hat.
No, she's saying something. Do you have any confusion here? So give one password, any password. I am giving as red hat. Sai or somebody is saying something. Again, give red hat. Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Clear? Yeah. So
yes, sir.
once you create user, whether this user got created or not, quickly check ID. That's us only. Yes. Now I have created two users. Along with user, it also creates one default group. You understood?
Yes.
This is how to create your users. Now, what is the significance of user? ఒకసారి ఆలోచించండి. అంటే గ్రూప్స్ క్రియేట్ చేయడం వల్ల యూజ్ ఏమి? లెట్స్ సే
దాని రిలేటెడ్ పీపుల్ అంతా ఒక గ్రూప్ లో ఉంటారు.
గ్రూప్ లో ఉంటారు అవునండి. సో లెట్స్ సే వాట్ ఆర్ ద అడ్వాంటేజ్? లెట్స్ సే యూజర్ వర్సెస్, క్విక్లీ 1 minute we'll discuss యూజర్ వర్సెస్ గ్రూప్. So what is the advantage? What are the advantages of creating groups when we already have users? So advantage ఏమంటే, let's
If
say
we want
When there
to
are
send
multiple
any
in a group,
information at
we
a
can
time
give
to a group,
single
we
time.
can send single time.
you can broadcast the information, or you can send the information at one shot. If you have 100
Mm.
photos files, 100 files ఉన్నాయి మీ గ్రూప్ లో, లెట్స్ సే 50 ఫ్రెండ్స్ ఉన్నారు, 50 గ్రూప్ మెంబర్స్ ఉన్నారు, మీకు 100 ఫైల్స్ ఉన్నాయి, ఫొటోస్ కానీ ఏవైనా. మీరు ఒక్కొక్కరికి పంపించాలంటే చాలా టైం పడుతుంది. అదే గ్రూప్ క్రియేట్ చేసి గ్రూప్ కింద 50 మెంబర్స్ కూడా ట్యాగ్ అయ్యి ఉంటే అందరికీ కూడా గ్రూప్ లో ఒకసారి పంపిస్తే చాలు, రైట్? ఇట్ విల్ రీచ్ ఫర్ ఆల్ ద గ్రూప్ మెంబర్స్ ఎట్ వన్ షాట్. యూ అండర్స్టూడ్? వీ నో దట్ any information we no need to send individually, separately. When there is a group, you send the information only once, it will reach for all the users at one shot. This is a very big advantage, you know that. Yeah, it means we can update any information at group level. For example, మీ కంపెనీలో ఫైనాన్స్ డిపార్ట్మెంట్ ఉంది, సో యువర్ మేనేజ్మెంట్ సైడ్ ఫర్ ఆల్ ద డెవలపర్స్, సో డెవలపర్స్ వచ్చేసి 2000 డెవలపర్స్ ఉన్నారు, వీళ్ళందరూ కూడా ప్లస్ 5000 హైక్ ఇవ్వమన్నారు, salary hike ఇవ్వమని చెప్పారు. సో these instruction got from management. And there is a testers department. Let's say there are 800 testers, or let's say around 3000 testers. So for all the testers, let's say they said around 6k salary hike ఇవ్వమని. This is the instruction got from management. ఇప్పుడు ఫైనాన్స్ డిపార్ట్మెంట్ ఏం చేయాలండి, ప్రతి ఒక్కరికి డెవలపర్స్ అందరూ కూడా 5k ఇవ్వమన్నారు, అండ్ for all the testing people they said 6k. Do you think they'll going to update plus 5k plus 6k separately for each engineer? No. What do? They create one group. Let's say dev అనే ఏదో గ్రూప్ క్రియేట్ చేస్తారు, doing that. So ప్రతి ఇంజనీర్ separate individually ఇచ్చుకుంటే, if they start updating for each engineer separately 5k plus 5k, it takes lot of time. మధ్యలో హ్యూమన్ మిస్టేక్స్ కూడా జరగవచ్చు. సో ఒకరికి హైక్ ఇవ్వబోయి వేరే వాళ్ళకి ఇవ్వచ్చు. సో దిస్ షుడ్ నాట్ బి ద సినారియో. సో హెన్స్ వాట్ డూ? ఇఫ్ దే క్రియేట్ వన్ గ్రూప్, సో ఇండివిజువల్ గా అప్డేట్ చేయడం కన్నా వాళ్ళు ఒక గ్రూప్ క్రియేట్ చేశారనుకోండి, గ్రూప్ క్రియేట్ చేసి 2000 all the 2000 developers, they will tag to this group. Then whenever there is an update or a hike, so instead of updating this information at individual level, if they say at group level plus 5k, అందరికీ increase అవుతుందా లేదా at once? You understood? Similarly for testers, instead of updating salary information plus 6k for each tester, if they create one group, like టెస్టర్స్ అందరూ కూడా ఒక గ్రూప్ క్రియేట్ చేసి ఈ విధంగా లెట్స్ సే టెస్ట్ టీమ్ గ్రూప్ క్రియేట్ చేసి ఈ 3000 టెస్టర్స్ ను కూడా ఈ టెస్ట్ అనే గ్రూప్ కి అటాచ్ చేస్తారు. దెన్ వన్స్ గ్రూప్ ఈజ్ అవైలబుల్, దే వోంట్ బి అప్డేటింగ్ ద ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ అట్ ఇండివిజువల్ టెస్టర్ లెవెల్. నో, దే విల్ సే plus 6k to this particular group. Done. Once they do, it applies for all the testers under this group. This is the advantage. You understood, guys? Yep. Users and groups. Yep. Very good. So I told you there are two ways we can verify whether a user got created or not. Quickly, if you want to see, మనం ఏదైతే యూజర్ క్రియేట్ చేసామో క్రియేట్ అయ్యా లేదా టెక్నికల్ వెరిఫై చేయాలంటే సింప్లీ సే ఐడి సునీల్. అనదర్ వే ఈజ్ ఇఫ్ యూ ఓపెన్ విఐ ఈటీసీ, దేర్ ఈజ్ ఒక built in కాన్ఫిగరేషన్ ఫైల్ ఒకటి ఉంటుంది, మీ ఓఎస్ తో పాటు వస్తుంది ఈ ఫైల్. ది ఫైల్ నేమ్ ఈస్ passwd. వేర్ ఇట్ ఈస్ లొకేటెడ్ /etc passwd. దిస్ ఈస్ ద ఫైల్. ఇఫ్ యూ ఓపెన్ దిస్ ఫైల్, ఈ passwd అనే ఫైల్లో మనం క్రియేట్ చేయబోయే ప్రతి యూజర్ కూడా ఒక ఎంట్రీ ఉంటుంది, ఒక రికార్డు ఉంటుంది. ఈ passwd అనే ఫైల్ ఒక రికార్డు ఉంది అంటే ఆ యూజర్ సిస్టంలో క్రియేట్ అయ్యి ఉన్నాడు అని అర్థం. చూద్దాం ఒకసారి. ఫర్ ఎవ్రీ యూజర్ we create, there will be one record, one entry should be there in this passwd file. If there is a record, then we can blindly assume that user got created in the system. Shall we check for the users we created now? Let me open this. You see, what is the user we created? Amar. రికార్డు ఉందా లేదా? సునీల్ ఒక రికార్డు ఉందా లేదా? So when we have these records in passwd file, it means technically this user got created in the system. You remember? గుర్తుంటుందా? I written here. You also can verify. Clear, everyone? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Okay. Now last two commands, it's almost done. Let's complete it. Now we have few users. Not only root user, apart from root user, we have two other users. Let's say Sunil and Amar we created. And groups also. If I say here ls-l, I have root user and root group. Similarly, we have one user Amar, and there will be a group with name Amar. We have one user Sunil, and definitely there will be a group with Sunil. We have multiple users and multiple groups now. So now let us see next level of permission is, next type of permission is how to change ownership of a file or folder. Okay. Let's see now how to change. And now you tell me. Owner ch1 is the command. To change ownership, ch1 is the command. ch1, I'll say, let's say Amar. I want to change the for file one, for file one already. Who is the owner? Root is the owner. I want to change ownership of this file from root user to Amar. So this is the command ch1 Amar, just say file.txt. Done. Now you say ls-l. You see, ownership change in the leda. Sorry, first one is the ownership, second one is the user. Owner, user. Change in the. Are you able to change now? Ownership from root user to another user. Clear, guys? Hello.
Yes, sir.
This is the
Yes,
command.
Anna.
This is the command. How to change. Okay. So this is the new owner for this file. Once you change the permission ownership, immediately say ls-l. So it gives already changed to Amar. You also try it. Okay. So next one is group. Let us try to change the group. chgrp means change group. So let's say I want to change to, there is one group already Sunil. I want to change for the same file. Let's say Amar is the owner now, but still it belongs to which group? Root group. Root and a group, it belongs to root group. Or let us try to change this one. File 2. I want to change now group from root to Sunil. So just say file 2. Say ls-l. You understood? Change in the later. So chgrp is the command to, if you want to change the group itself to any file or folder. So these commands are very important. Even you got admin commands antaru. And usually admin say use chestari commands, the permissions related. So please be perfect in these commands. Now I want to change to this group. Clear? So we are able to change the group. So that's it for today. Is everything clear till today?
Yes, sir, it's clear.
So after this session, we have Sunday. Please practice. Multiple times practice in Unix commands, whatever we discussed. And I will share this document as well today itself. There might be another half an hour or 1 hour class Unix. That's it. Then we can move on to next topics. Unix is almost done. I'll just check and see if there are a few more commands. We'll see. Finish it off. So these are document. These are document. I will share distribute this document as well. So any comments for economic. You have in notes as well as here. Please refer to this and practice. Clear? Yep, almost done. Maybe we'll check if there are any comments left out. We'll see in next class and we'll move on to next topic. Okay. Have a nice weekend. Let's meet on Monday.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.